In the meantime, do any of you remember when Nancy Pelosi said this?
Taken together, it will save taxpayers $1.3 trillion.
Well, the group that brought you Obamacare is pushing for a new health care bill to, well, tackle Obamacare, essentially the expense of Obamacare, because, well, it's more money than anyone could possibly care. Let's ask Michelle Malkin, who's not at all surprised. So I think if I got this right, Michelle, it's a bill to fix a bill whose costs are too obscene to put in the original bill.
That's right, Neil. The Affordable Care Act, of course, was anything but, which many of us warned from day one of this national debacle. It is a fiscal sinkhole. And now Families USA, which is the far left group that supports all-out, full Monty socialized medicine, is back trying to recruit a diverse group of members to lobby for, I guess they'll call it the Affordable Care Act, and we really mean it this time.
Well, you know what's weird, Michelle? Think about what's going on here. Now, there are a number of Democratic Congress, I think you were the first to alert me to this, who were saying, you know, about these medical device taxes. Yes. A lot of our constituents apparently are stuck paying for that. And we want that out of there. So apparently they were told, well, let's see what we can do to get it out of there. But they have to make up the revenue from other places. So then they go, well, let's maybe hit up the rich anymore. No, we've already done that. So they're running out of options. So essentially what they're saying here, I think, is let's redo a big chunk of this in a separate sidecar deal, I think, that would address all this, right?
Yeah, you know, if you read the actual quote-unquote proposals that they're floating now, that all of the healthcare trade magazines and blogs are heavy breathing about, it's not really clear what exactly people are signing on to. I mean, they've recruited the CEO of Ascension Health and some other ostensible business groups to sign on. I think what we have to remember here is the context. No matter how they might talk about cost cutting, cost saving, cost effectiveness, and reform, the singular agenda of Families USA has been to move us towards a British and Canadian style socialized medicine system. So they see the failures and the collapse of the ACA. Remember, again, the context of Kathleen Sebelius coming out now and telling us that the healthcare exchange implementation costs are double what they are, double, triple. We're now talking about overall costs of Obamacare in the next 10 years costing some $5 or $6 trillion.
By the way, she was blaming a lot of that on Republican intransigence and all that. Of
course she was.
I mean, you cannot look at this, Michelle. I always think, and I'm sort of like the numbers nerd here, so I just do the math, and I'm thinking, well, you cannot be promising coverage for pre-existing conditions, getting your kids on your policy till they're like 80 or whatever it is. I'm kidding, it's 26. But all of these gimmies aren't freebies. So if you think premiums are going to stay the same, if you think everything is going to be hunky-dory and no costs are going to go up, and then you feign shock and awe when we see shock and awe-inspiring medical bills as a result, then I don't really know what to tell you.
That's right. And then, just pulling back even more, of course, the problem is that you've got this massive spending with the government health programs, whether it's Medicaid, which of course Families USA wants to expand, S-CHIP, all of the drowning costs of Medicare. And these people refuse to talk about any kind of market-based reforms to the system. Instead, what they continue to push and push for is imposing top-down regulations, mandates, and burdens on private providers and private health care professionals. And we see what the end result of that has been, on top of course, we talked about the medical device excise tax, which even though it is nominally been repealed, has already resulted in real-world cutbacks, layoffs, and severe impact on R&D in this country.
Well, just ask yourself, Michelle, well put. I'll just end this particular segment on this note. You see two different stories with the same message. Do as we say, not necessarily as we do or programs have yielded. I will say this, that would be analogous to me telling you all tonight to eat a salad. Really.